A lot of high earners are making more money than they ever thought possible and still don't feel fully wealthy. Not because they're failing, but because income and wealth are not the same thing. And I see this all the time with business owners and high income earners. Income is going up, but wealth isn't compounding the way it should. And there's usually a few reasons why. As income increases, something else tends to increase right alongside it. Your standard of living, better house, nicer vacations, more flexibility, more overall spending. And none of that is inherently bad. The issue is when your lifestyle grows at the same pace as your income. You never actually create separation between what you keep and what you earn. A lot of times, high income creates the illusion that everything is working because cash flow is strong. There's always more coming in. So people stop paying attention to efficiency, structure, and intentionality. Money comes in, taxes get paid, and spending expands. Investments happen somewhat reactively, but there's no real system behind it. Over time, that creates a strange situation where someone can make several $100,000 or several $1 million a year and still not feel financially secure. Because wealth usually isn't built from income alone. It's built from the gap between what you earn, what you spend, the risks you take, and how intentionally the rest is structured. I'm Matt Losanno with Cinder Wealth here in Georgia. I work with a lot of business owners and high income earners who have built incredibly successful businesses, but many of them still struggle to transition from generating income to building durable, long-term wealth. So in the next few minutes, I want to walk you through a few of the biggest patterns I see: lifestyle creep, reinvesting everything back into the business, staying permanently risk on, and why those things can quietly prevent high earners from actually building financial security. The second thing I see a lot is business owners reinvesting everything back into the business, which makes sense. It's usually what got them there. The business has often been their best investment. And for many owners, concentration is what created the wealth in the first place. They stayed focused, they reinvested aggressively, they kept betting on the thing they understood best. For a long time, that strategy probably worked extremely well. But eventually, there has to be a transition. Because at a certain point, you have to start taking chips off the table. I'll give you a real example. I have a client making several $1 million per year. In just a couple of years, they could realistically be completely set for the rest of their life. But instead of locking that in, they keep making very large, high-risk bets. Several $1 million into an AI startup with the mindset of, if this hits, I'm done immediately. That might be true, but if it doesn't, it's still a meaningful setback. This isn't a one-off. They've made multiple bets like this. Low probability, high payoff opportunities. And each one sounds compelling in the moment, but when you step back, they're already in a position where they no longer need to take that level of risk anymore. And this is where I think about things differently. Your business is already your risk-on asset. It's concentrated, it's high reward, it's uncertain. That's where a lot of the upside already came from. Your investments should usually play a different role because your business already gives you concentrated upside. You typically don't need your portfolio trying to hit a home run too. Instead, your investments should become more of your risk-off over time, more stable, more diversified, more intentional, because eventually the goal changes. The goal isn't to get rich again, it's to keep what you already built and let it compound. I'll give you another example. I have a client with roughly a third of their assets in a single stock position, and we had a very simple conversation. If that stock doubles, their lifestyle probably doesn't change very much. But if it drops significantly, their lifestyle probably does. And that's the asymmetry you want to avoid, because reducing risk and diversifying assets isn't about giving up upside. It's about preventing outcomes that can materially set you back. And when you combine all of this, lifestyle creep, reinvesting everything into the business, staying fully risk on, you end up with people making a lot of money, but not actually building durable wealth. So eventually the question shifts. Instead of asking, how do I make more? You start asking, how do I keep more, reduce unnecessary risk, and structure this more intentionally? Because at some point, wealth building shifts from pure accumulation to preservation, efficiency, and intentionality. The goal becomes creating a system where your income is strong, your lifestyle is intentional, and your investments are actually protecting and compounding what you've already built. Because eventually, it's not about maximizing upside anymore. It's about limiting the downside. If you're a business owner or high income earner, and you're not sure how your income, your investments, and your overall strategy are working together, it's worth looking at. I run a tax strategy assessment where we walk through all of that together. A lot of the times, the biggest opportunities aren't finding some magical investment. They're building a better structure around the success you already created. If you're curious how that applies to your situation, there's a link below. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you earn, it's about what you keep and what you're actually able to hold on to.